Luis Miranda is a former DNC communications director. He's thought about this question. He joins us tonight. Mr. Miranda, thanks very much for coming on.
Thanks for having me on, Tucker.
What are you going to do about airplanes?
Well, it's not like anybody is going to do away with airplanes. I think what the whole point of the Green New Deal is to push us further. And we have good allies in the petroleum industry itself. British Petroleum now touts itself as beyond petroleum. And plenty of the best and most significant investments in renewable energies are coming from the fossil fuel industry that has recognized that it needs to transition.
I know how terrified. I mean, look, big business is an ally of the left. I mean, obviously I'm aware of that. I'm very aware of that.
Is that what it is now?
And I'm aware of the sort of Orwellian statements that their PR departments put out. But the fact is that you have people running for president at the very top of the Democratic Party promising us and the country that we're going to be off all fossil fuels in a dozen years. So a lot of questions that stem from that. But the first one in my mind, since it's a country dependent, it's a continental country, what are you going to do about airplanes, honestly?
Well, look, there's a variety of proposals that are going to emerge from this. What you're talking about is one proposal from Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and apparently Senator Markey, but there's going to be other perspectives on this. Nancy Pelosi has appointed a commission to look at this and to identify ways that we can move forward more aggressively on making a transition responsibly. And so nobody's talking about shutting down the airline industry. What we're talking about is the fact that this polar vortex and more severe weather like it are going to continue to happen if we don't take aggressive steps to reduce carbon emissions.
Right. I mean, without even getting into the global warming question, which is a separate one, it's just so striking that the United States has achieved this amazing victory over dependence on Middle Eastern oil. No one really acknowledges it. It's a thing that we've been calling for.
Well, natural gas is one of the things that has crushed coal. I mean, you know, your prior guest says that Obama killed coal. It was natural gas.
Well, Obama was very hostile to coal, but natural gas, that's for sure. Cheap natural gas.
And despite Donald Trump's promises, coal mines are closing.
Okay, but look, the question, you're actually writing the script for me, is once natural gas has done this amazing thing, it's a cleaner form of energy, now every Democrat running for president has promised to kill natural gas.
Well, it's one vehicle, but we need to have, as a country, we need a lot of different sources of energy.
Well, we have a different sources.
We need a lot of sources of energy.
We have many sources of energy. But why would you want to kill the single most successful, homegrown, cheapest, cleanest form of energy that actually works that we have?
What you want to do is give the American people more options. And if you do it smartly, you can actually do it in a way that creates more jobs. I'll give you a perfect example where you combine smart policies that have bipartisan support. We have now opportunity zones that are going to allow people to defer their capital gains investments, potentially eliminate what they owe on that entirely over 10 years, to put it into revitalizing communities that have been left behind over the last many years. And you can actually combine that with other programs that help install renewable energy systems inside those buildings.
No, I know it's going to be.
You put people to work retrofitting buildings. There's a lot of ways that we can do this in a responsible way.
I'm not against infrastructure.
Nobody's talking about stopping airplanes.
Well, actually, the member of Congress whose tape I displayed is talking about stopping all fossil fuels, and that would stop airplanes in their tracks. There's no solar.
The idea is to transition to new forms of energy, not to suspend.
But I'm just saying, why would I listen to policymakers who know nothing about the policy? None of these people know anything about energy at all, and they're making promises that are insane, that they can't keep, and that the science rejects out of hand. So why are they credible?
I'm not asking you to listen to them. What I'm asking you to do is to consider that we need people like that to help bring the debate up, and then we can have a lot of different sectors.
Let's have this debate.
Find consensus.
So wind power is not an efficient form of power. It hasn't been. I think solar is promising. Wind is not. And yet it is the scourge of rural America. It's every poor community has a windmill, and these offshore companies are getting rich from it. Why are there no wind farms in Nantucket Sound or off the coast of Greenwich or off the coast of Malibu?
Why is it continuing to expand wind power and making it more efficient? And like you said, I think solar has tremendous promise.
But shouldn't wind power shouldn't we evenly share the burden? Why are there no wind farms in rich neighborhoods? Why is it in the Central Valley of California?
We're going to have to share the burden, but one of the examples of how solar has been so effective is that a lot of power companies used to give a lot of incentives to people to install solar panels. And if you exceeded what you used in energy because of what you were collecting and kicking back into the grid, you actually got a credit. Well, a lot of power companies in states like Arizona and others are trying to cut back on those credits because there's so much electricity from the solar panels in people's homes coming back into the grid.
But they don't want to give them credits. They can't store it. That's the problem. That's why nobody talking about this knows any. They don't know what they're talking about. It's not the question. Is not generating electricity. It's storing it so you can release it when you need it at peak usage times.
It's going to have to be a combination of technologies.
Hopefully we can get some smart...
But we have to have this debate, and whether or not you agree with Ms. Ocasio-Cortez, with Congresswoman Cortez,
do you have any idea
the important thing is that we have people who are pushing the debate so we can have these questions and answer them in a way that works.
I'm interested in it.
I want the science to continue to evolve on it.
Right.
Is it going to be ready in 12 years? Maybe not, but at least we're moving in that direction.
Stop lying for once. That would be great. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks, Tucker.